Actually, words fail me. So, Onica, I don't know how you're doing with words right now.
Wow. It's been an incredible 2.5 days. We're halfway towards our final day. But yes, yeah, I think I feel the same way, Nanjira. It's gonna be weird to perform tomorrow, to like wake up and do tomorrow.
Yeah, but we've already been given work. There's a lot of people in the room who've already given us our marching orders.
But they're gonna get on a plane and leave.
And we're gonna be here cleaning up. It's okay. But I mean, I hope the day is not over, obviously, but that so far, I hope I'm correct in saying the energy, the substance, the connections, the validation that we exist, we are not, we're not just some footnotes in history. I hope I'm correct in assuming that has been a takeaway. Maybe people are still processing.
No, they still want open mic.
I
think that's what it is.
It is.
They're trying to figure out that we're going to let them continue.
Comments time, eh?
Yes.
Take that one home. Stop asking people to say questions. You know they're coming with comments.
Yes.
That is another takeaway. They are called comments. Accept and move on. Hashtag.
Okay, just a reminder, continue using the hashtag Tech Women Africa, and let's continue this conversation beyond this room.
But while we're still in the room, this is going to be a hard one, but in a Twitter bowl, because we've been using Twitter mostly, but or a Facebook post that does not say more, or any social platform, basically, your comment, yeah, that comment, how to keep it, within a minute max. And I don't mean to cut the wind beneath your sails. It's just to say we want to get a feel as much a feel around the room about takeaways, what people think they are going to go and act on or keep going. Yeah, Elaine, where are you? I did promise you'd kick us off. Okay, maybe she's not.
It's a plot.
It's a plot.
She doesn't want us to finish.
Okay. Anyway, but first of all, let me just see, as of 12:27-ish, I just want to give a shout out for our representatives from government still with us. Anyone representing a government of their country? We are not few. You represent a government of your country. Wonderful. Thank you, sisters, for joining us. Sometimes we know it's hard to come to the discussion. We are not your enemies, and thank you for indulging us. You represent a pain point, but we come to you with tough love, and you have also shared your insights and your side of things. So thank you for being in the room with us. Most often than not, the door, the opening keynote and then the closing keynote, but many of you have been here throughout. So thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our partners, those on the charts and those were not in the charts, those who've come from different organizations that shape programs, you know yourselves. Arise, please, or raise your hand. I mustn't have to call you out. You know yourselves.
Internet Society.
You know yourselves. Come on now. It is your chance to shine. Come on now. Gloria is probably checking out. Maybe she's back in the room. They agreed to come and not just, cut a check, but to really listen. And as you heard in the panel before, hopefully there are some takeaways that they will go and advocate for how to do responsive programming for our work. There's a lot of work we have to do. And I don't know if we had any partners from the private sector who came through. I don't know if we're missing one sector, but anyone representing or self-identifying as private sector. It could be an entrepreneur, you could be, yes, an entrepreneur going on, multi-conglomerate, what. You know. Yes, so we have some representation. People are getting shy, I guess, but thank you for those. When you go there, remember when they put you in those positions and they're talking big tech, big English technology and big French technology, to remember the cause for women and how to have it even when we're thinking about the profit margin. Keep that in mind. And those of us, the ones who keep the noise, the necessary noise going, the Twitter campaigns going, the bringing to, the room the fact that women and girls must be counted. I think we are a majority. Those of us in civil society, those of us in development, those in policy, those in training, give a shout out to yourselves. I think you're not even convinced about yourselves, though. Hi, bro. Yes, so I hope these last 3 days, just taking a break sometimes, because the world has us in a combative sense. We're fighting something. We're fighting, always fighting. I hope these last 3 days have been edifying, just feeling, I saw people going some real self-care. The gym had people. I saw gym selfies. I saw spa selfies. I saw those Afrikiko selfies. I think they know themselves, but self-care is so important. And I hope outside of the program and through the program, that has been a moment. You're living here replenished. You're living here knowing you're not alone, and the fight continues, or the struggle, but also the glory on the other side.
Yes, I was going to just say that sometimes we are so used to fighting that we actually miss when we are actually winning. We miss that moment when we are actually winning. And looking at this room today is winning. So let's celebrate that moment.
And next time we're thinking about the third summit, which we will say very few words about. Onica and I first need to sleep. But when we need to write that proposal, guys, we're coming to you, because I think you are the ones who know. I don't know if I have the words anymore to say what this has been. And that is why we have been asking that we keep it going. Thank you for keeping the hashtag trending every single day, because it validates what we keep telling many people. We deserve this. We need this. We will not make it about us, except that we see this. Our hearts are so full. Thank you to all the speakers who responded when I told them, yeah, there's a panel, you will be on it, just come. Thank you for being such conversation starters. Thank you for lighting our fires. Thank you to all those who also accepted to moderate. Thank you to those who've been helping us, the staff team, the translators, to Labadi Beach Hotel, to, I know I'm forgetting some people to name. I sound like one of those people on the Grammy stand when they're being told they have 5 more seconds. But I'm just saying a big thank you to our colleagues, the Web Foundation team. I will just ask, please identify yourselves. You deserve a shout out. We are not all based in one country. Please, guys, all 12 of us, or however many we are a minority in the room. Listen, we did this. We don't live in the same country. Onica and I would try and sneak seeing each other once every 6 months, since we knew we had to deliver this. This was our commitment from the last summit. And with this team, I think this is showing the power of what the web does. When people are connected, we transcend boundaries and borders, and that's really our team. And we hope you've truly had the experience that we envisioned on paper. Yes, ma'am. Oh, wow. I don't know how many, 256 people maximum is what WhatsApp says. But apparently there's a WhatsApp group. I think it's an opt-in. Whoever is index 1 will distributing. Fiona? No, I'll repeat. So there's a link being shared, and through that link you can enter this WhatsApp group, and from there you can keep connecting and keep conversing. But there was a challenge we posed ourselves yesterday, and I don't know how we're doing on it. The Wikipedia takeover.
It must continue.
It must, guys. Next time people are asking where the women in tech in Africa, they are here. When we leave this room, we still exist. We're just distributed very, very, very vastly. So we must, it's really imperative that we are counted in the way they think they must count us, but we must be counted. I know I'm becoming a bit of an evangelist, but internet evangelist is I. New title. But I will stop talking now because we also want to hear from you. What next? I don't know if Derek Briggs is still in the house. She's from UNM and she just asked me, so what? And I'm like, I don't know, but I will ask you. What next for you guys from what you've heard from, and especially those who did not have a chance on this mic? Or the mics on theirs. Yes, sis.
I think for me at this point, we've spoken a lot about policy, about the back-end production of technology, and not a lot about front-end content curation. At the end of the day, the internet is a space, and you have to populate it. So going forward, I think as a blogger, you often get, especially in entertainment, you get sidetracked by whatever project you're working on, whoever's producing an album or a book. And you forget that you write for a particular grouping of people, and that you have to write and you have to produce, you have to have images with black girls, you have to have your hair out, you have to wear makeup that is friendly to people of your color and darker than you. I had to mention Fenty, I'm sorry, it's my leader. So it's important at events like this for me to also remember that women and girls in technology also means hiring, creative content producers and hiring writers of color to work with you on your projects.
As you can see, next gen.
I did commit to bring a young person to the next summit. You'll remember.
All right.
What a twin.
She brought her twin. Chantal.
Ok, merci Nanjira. Et moi, les perspectives avant de commencer, permettez-moi de remercier toutes ces Power Women de The Web Afrique et Web Foundation qui nous ont invités ici. Vous êtes tellement inspirantes que moi, quand je pars, en plus de toutes les femmes qui sont ici, quand je quitte ici et que je rentre à Dakar,
I'm going to actually be called now the tech woman. I'm very much appreciative of you. In terms of prospects, we have heard a lot of things today, a lot of beautiful experiences. And me, as an activist, I think that this is going to change a lot of things for me. Because already I'm saying that we must do things so that we can actually be our government to become responsible and also accountable. We must make sure that the technological world must also be accountable to us, because when you go to Facebook and you put in place a new application and the title is if humanity could be trained out of the human body, the world is beginning to put in place a device, an artificial device to the host human life. I think as a woman, no, I say no. If humanity is going to go work beyond the body of a woman, that will be a new world to be created. In terms of prospects, we tech women, we must look at the world of technology, and we must not accept everything that the web proposes to us. As we said that during the pandemic, how can we use artificial intelligence to build the world? I think we must have a look at this and look at the women, that is strong women and well educated, so that we can actually find another way of working as an activist on internet. That is this idea that I would like to emphasize on, and I want to work on that beyond that. I would like to say thank you to the World Foundation for having covered me. I would know that I would have had the same prospects if it were today, because if I go back to my village and I can tell my mother, try to include technology in whatever you do. And I think It's for women, but also beyond that also, there's no purpose. We must accept this new dimension to adapt that to our realities. We must also stay as African. We must also be technological. Africa must also should be part of this digital evolution. Thank you very much.
Tech is coming alive today.
Okay, trying to get the mic closer. All right, so I just want to add to what was said previously about the front end. I think it's actually really, really important, and I hope that for the third annual event, and I believe that there will be a third annual event.
Every 2 years, guys.
Anyway, it's really important because even those of us who are using the internet effectively, especially to push our businesses, we're struggling, you know, in a sense, because so I'm a human resource and also a marketing consultant, and I operate an online content platform called 0360. I'm sorry, yeah, 0360, and you can see our female photographers around going around taking photos.
Yes, thank you for that.
You're welcome. One of the challenges that we faced, we've been operating the platform for about 3 years, and we recently rebranded. And one of the challenges we faced is actually getting images that cater to our demographic, you know, especially like feature images for articles, because that's what's going to pull in the reader. You know, so we've actually just brought on a photojournalist to join our team to be able to go out and capture images that go with the content that we create. So I really do hope that in the next event we can talk about the front end for the women who are using the internet effectively. So I just wanted to add to that.
Thank you. And to that, actually, to say in a way that is informed consent has been given. We often are on the front pages of reports without our consent. But thank you for that. I know you will do it differently. Alsacia will come to this table. Okay.
Thanks to Nanjira. I'm Alsacia Atanasio from Mozambique. I'd like to thank the World Wide Web Foundation for bringing us here to share to get more knowledge on ICTs. In fact, I'm the member of the WRO network, but I'm not an ICT expert. I'm vet by training, and also I'm a researcher. I work on biotechnology and biosciences. And as women in science, I would like to take this opportunity to let the dignitaries present here know that last year a book was published by the African Academy of Sciences. I mean the network of African academies of sciences, in which their stories, they call them inspiring stories, from Africa. So I had the opportunity of being one of the women scientists which story is in that book. So in Mozambique, we are more than 50 women from more than 35 African countries. So the book is available online. Just type women in science, inspiring stories from Africa. So this book, we think that as advocates for STEM will help young girls and young researchers to both perform STEM courses and also STEM careers at the postgraduate level and other stages. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Mahadia from Tanzania. So us, we don't train coding, but we work closely with those who train young girls on coding. But our focus is on we don't want people to code toy projects because we train them coding and they end up doing toy projects. So our angle is to train the young girls on data analytics skills, to use open data that is available, to identify challenges in their society, and while they are coding, they are contributing to something in the society. In that case, it's also easy to take that product to the market because you are actually solving a particular problem in the society. But on what I wanted to talk maybe is something that you have highlighted on the use cases. I've seen that you are all doing amazing jobs of training these kids on coding, but we don't see those examples and use cases. Like we were developing online learning materials, and it was very much difficult for us getting use cases from African context. Whenever we search online, we just get something from European, Asian, and Asian also are good at least. But I feel that this is a challenge, that we are doing amazing jobs. We should find a way to make sure all these stories are being heard, and we should also prioritize as we develop curriculums using African stories so that they can see they can do it, especially using stories of young girls who have done things in the society. Thank you.
Okay.
Ok, merci. Je suis Saint-Tiche Gebré du Burkina Faso. Et vraiment, c'est un honneur pour moi d'être ici parmi toutes ces femmes. J'avoue qu'en venant ici, je n'étais pas vraiment très
I wasn't very much involved in the stick, even though I was an association in Burkina Faso, which does a lot of things on the ground for young women. But indeed, we are on the ground. We help women who are not even educated in the markets, and also to use ICT to be able to promote the activities. We have a beacon activity which enables us to encourage young women to be able to join this network. That is what we do in the area of ICT. By coming here, I wasn't that much involved in ICT. By having seen all these women who all have inspired me, that motivates me a lot. And once I go back to my country, I'm going to get involved further in this. But I'm convinced that the future of Africa is actually resides in ICT, especially for women. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay.
Yes, my sister who's been almost jumping off her seat at the back. Yes. Okay. You're looking at me, yes.
My name is Omotola. I'm from Nigeria, and I must say that I'm really, really thrilled to be in this amazing community of women passionate about bringing diversity and inclusion in the tech space. I'm 18 years old and I just started a career as a software developer at EcoBank. And the question I kept asking myself was, where are all these women? Because I'm in a boardroom surrounded by men. I'm, the only female software developer at my office, and I'm asking, where are all these women? We have all this campaigns for women empowerment, but where are all these women in the industry? And just being here in this community of women who are extremely passionate about including women in the technology space and making sure that we have a voice and we are able to make the impact that we are capable of is just an amazing, amazing feeling. And what I want to say is also that we need to bring male allies, because they are the key players, and they need to see and appreciate what we are doing here as women, the work we're doing from all over the continent, the people that are doing research, the people that are teaching kids how to code. So I would also like to bring that as a suggestion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I have a really tough job here because we are certainly out of time. And unfortunately, we are not able to accept any more comments. I need to get with this word. But please, if you didn't get a chance to speak, do tweet this out to us using the hashtag, and we will make sure that some of those comments get into our final notes about the event.
Lami, Mara, and others also grabbing video. Aminata. There's so many people also grabbing stories and sharing them via video. Please capture them, because to the question of when we go back online, where all of this energy exists, we need to make sure after this, there's a lot more. When people, unfortunately, Google, it's a verb now. When they Google this information, these ideas, these frustrations, we need to have those stories. They may not always be written, we were told. They're written, and they're written in English. Knowledge is being hidden. Let us use oral stories, use audio, use voice notes, use VR, use AI, I don't know, just use something. Tell these stories. Tell these stories, my dear sisters, and I hope that wind in the sails is going to get you sharing more stories. But ladies, after a wonderful week, really, we call it the Second Africa Summit on Women and Girls in Technology.
So, just some little housekeeping. We are coming back into this room for lunch. So if we could just step out for about 10 minutes, and then we will be back here for our closing lunch. Thank you.
Yes!